Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. And by the video title, you know what this video is about. Which Pittsburgh Steelers rookie will have the most impact this season? Basically, rookies I should say, actually. Trying to see, of course the safe answer would be to say Derek Harmon. Derek Harmon would be a big utilized piece. I think he's playing behind Cam Hayward most likely, but he will definitely see the field, I think, more than most of the other rookies. With a running back, I think Caleb Johnson probably see the field a lot too. But I would say Derek Harmon will have a big impact, of course, up front. The Steelers brought him in for a reason. They want to bring physicality back to the Steelers locker room, and I think he's a big body up front, a guy who can hold those gaps, a guy who can be an anchor in the run game, and a guy who can also get pressure as well from the middle as well, creating more potential turnover for the Steelers. You got T.J. Watt come off the edge, what he do at a high level. Alex Highsmith come off the edge, what he do at a good level as well. With guys like Cam Hayward, Derek Harmon, Kellen Bennett coming from the middle. So it's going to be very interesting to see how things shape out. We're going to see those guys rotate in, rotate back and forth and stuff, and to see how things kind of like, transpire with us. So I think Derek Harmon should have probably the best, probably the most impact, thing this season for the rookies as a Steelers draft class. Caleb Johnson could definitely see a lot of touches, I think, early on, because the Steelers do love power running backs and running backs who go out there who can be a bell cow back. We've seen Najee Harris have 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons with the Steelers. Put some pretty good numbers like that with the Steelers. He scored 10 touchdowns each of his first 3 seasons. Last year, he scored like 5 or 6 touchdowns. Wish we had a little more, but still reached over 1,000 yards as well. Played good football with his tenure with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers decided to go a different route. Got Caleb Johnson, and Caleb Johnson is similar to Najee. Maybe a little faster, I think. He's not as good of a catcher as Najee. Now, a lot of people say, well, he wasn't asked to catch the ball. Was he not asked to catch the ball because he couldn't catch the ball, or was he just not asked to catch the ball? So I know he caught 22 passes last year. Most of the stuff you see him catch is like screen passes and dump offs. So I don't know. I can't really determine how good his hands is. Maybe once the Steelers get him in the offense and we see him run some stuff in rookie minicamp, maybe his hands will be better than what it seems. But he only had 29 catches in his whole tenure in college. So I think you probably expect him to be more of a power back style, and I think he runs very well. He hit the hole very hard as well. He never go down from first contact. And we see a lot of big time plays he make. You look at some of those runs he had, the 80-yard runs he had in college, putting up on like 5 or 6 straight 150+ rushing yard games and stuff, and being a touchdown machine at the goal line, being a guy who can go through them, find different cracks, and go over and do different things. He has some sneaky athleticism as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if he had a big impact either, because the Steelers might utilize him a lot more. He might get the most touches and more opportunities than anybody else, so I could definitely see him having a big impact. I wouldn't be surprised if Jack Sawyer had a big impact too as well. Alex Highsmith is a good player, but he does have some injuries sometimes. Like he does get banged up at times, so I would be surprised to see Jack Sawyer, if he had to step in, or him and Herbig rotating in and out. If an injury happened, or if he step in and be like a starter, for a game or something, because injuries do happen on the edge. T.J. Watt been injured, Alex Highsmith been injured, so you never know. They might have to step in. I wouldn't be surprised if Jack Sawyer go out there and be a motor and go out there and have a pretty good presence and make some impact for the defense and getting some sacks and causing some pressures and maybe causing some turnovers, some strip sacks or forced fumbles or something. I wouldn't be surprised to see that from him, because he has that ability. I think learning behind T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith with Herbig as well, he's gonna turn to a dynamic pass rusher and be very good for our team in the future. So that'll be interesting to see what goes on. But those are probably the 3 ones I feel like they have the most impact entering this season. Let me know down below what you guys think about the rookies, this draft class, and who's your favorite rookie? That's another question I have too as well. Favorite rookie. My favorite rookie, I think I'm gonna love watching the most to see what they do. I'm gonna have to go with Will Johnson. I say Will Johnson. I mixed the names together. Will Howard. I think Will Howard, I'm very interested because it's the quarterback position. The quarterback position, that's a big time position. We don't know if he'll be a franchise quarterback or just be a backup, or he might be out of the league in a few years. You never know what could happen like that. There's like 3 different ways you can go. Will Howard does have some potential. We've seen the big body. The Steelers love big body quarterbacks. And the Steelers also kind of stated too recently, early today, that they was not planning on drafting a quarterback in the first place early on. So he might not be getting play time unless something crazy happens. If Aaron Rodgers decide not to come to the Steelers and they roll Mason Rudolph, and then Will Howard is there, Will Howard have opportunity to maybe try to beat out Mason Rudolph, or maybe Mason Rudolph starts stinking it up, and then Will Howard step in and take over for him and get an opportunity to play year 1, or Aaron Rodgers do join in. Will Howard learn behind Rodgers, learn behind Mason Rudolph for a year, maybe 2 years like that. The Steelers bring another veteran guy in for next year or something. You never know what could happen. Or maybe next year he takes over and he have a little bit more bearing behind him. I'm very much excited to see what he does. You know, I always love watching the quarterback position and see how the QBs develop in the system and stuff. Because when you have that guy on the QB position, you're set. We've seen the Steelers have different things, of course. We had all type of stuff on the QB position the past few years. We had, like, you count all the guys basically we had since they've been retired. It's been a lot. Mr. Trubisky, Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, 5 different quarterbacks. And you made the playoffs with I think one time you did for 3 different quarterbacks. I think the past 2 years you did it with Mason Rudolph, Kenny Pickett, and then you did it with Trubisky that 1 year. Then last season, this just passed, you did it with Russell Wilson. See, a lot of names. And Justin Fields, you made the playoffs with them. So you make the playoffs, but you can't win in the playoffs because you don't have that position. And every time it comes down to the wire, you see those games you lost in the playoffs, either because your defense couldn't stop them anymore because they got tired and gave up. Well, not gave up, but they got tired and gassed out. Or in the offense just couldn't put enough points up. We've seen that happen many times, on many occasions, of course, as well. You don't have that position, that quarterback position in the middle, that position that's the most important piece to football. Like I mentioned many times on this channel and on the other channel as well, my Arsenal D.B channel. I always say that the people that are closest to the football had the most impact. I feel like the three things you need to succeed as a team: O-line, elite pass rusher, and a quarterback. If you got those 3 components, you have an opportunity to go out there and compete with the best of them every single time. We see the Chiefs got that. Patrick Mahomes, you got Chris Jones, their O-line. You got a little weak in times, but most time the O-line is pretty good. They have that. You see them win those Super Bowls. The Eagles definitely got that O-line. You got quarterback, and then you got a pass rusher. They got multiple pass rushers that are elite like that, so they were able to get to the quarterback and make things happen. So if you have those 3 combinations, I feel like it's good because in the playoffs, that pass rusher is going to be the guy who can be a flipper for you like that. And then also having the ability to run the football with a good O-line and such a great quarterback up make the job easier. We've seen Tom Brady do it many times. Had a good defense, had the O-line, of course, and he was able to set things up and do different things. So the Steelers have an O-line that's young. I ain't saying it's elite, but it's a pretty solid, pretty good O-line. We've seen some flashes last year where they was doing a very good job in the run game and stuff as well. Russell Wilson did hold the ball a long time, so some of those sacks that he took, I feel like it was more on him than the O-line like that if you go watch some of that film. So the O-line is pretty good and getting there. And if you have TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, we got a lot of edge rushers. We got a great Hall of Fame edge rusher, TJ Watt. We got a good Pro Bowl-like level Alex Highsmith. We got Cam Hayward in the middle. So you got some pass rushers that can get to a quarterback. Guys who can disrupt some stuff. But quarterback is the question mark right there. You ain't got that position. I've seen teams have, of course, a quarterback and no receiver sometimes. Like Josh Allen last year, he had Mark Cooper at the end of the season from the trade, but Mark Cooper didn't really do a lot with their team. Ken Coleman, the rookie, he did his thing here and there, but if you look at their whole receiving core, Curtis Samuel and stuff, he really didn't have nothing elite, and he still made the AFC Championship game and still won the MVP. Lamar Jackson, same thing. He had, of course, Zay Flowers, who was cool and all, but you look at his receivers, nobody's really elite out there like that. Like nobody's like a top 5 guy, top 10 guy, and they still go out there and put up those big numbers to the league in passer ratings. I know you have Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely as well, but it's like he went out there and let the league in passer ratings steal. So sometimes you don't have the best talent around you. Mahomes is definitely a guy like that too as well. I know last year he had down numbers a little bit because he turned the ball over a lot more, but still found a way to get to the Super Bowl because hey, you have that quarterback, you have a guy who can get to the quarterback, and then you have that O-line who can help you set the tone in the game. So I think once the Steelers can figure out the quarterback position, they can go out there and get things situated. So that's why I think Will Howard, my favorite person I'm gonna be watching. The person I'm gonna be watching, I think this season, to see what happens. I don't know if you're gonna play this year or not, but you never know what can happen. But definitely next season, we'll see what goes on. The Steelers decide to draft a guy high up, or they might say, you know what, I like what I see in Will. Let's give Will a chance to see what happens. Goes out there for him, and he can go out there and make some plays or something like that. So we'll have to wait and see what goes on. But that's all I have for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe for more content. I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.